because they've never been more ready to listen. The military, I mean, it's scary how awake they are. That's not really a job to do anymore. The police are accelerating their awakening. The globalists are scared. I'm going to skip this network break. I'll be honest with you, 10 years ago, I never thought it'd be the warrior class that would listen to me. I would bash the military, I would bash the police all day because I knew they worked for the globalists that had taken over. I would think I've got to warn the general proletariat, to use their words, so that we don't go along with this takeover. But I didn't realize that for all the faults of the people that enter the warrior class, they don't want to be slaves. They don't want to be conquered. They don't want to be driven into slavery. They don't, no. They want to do the hanging. And it's that class now that's totally tuned to this show. See, I never expected those type of angles. And I told you at the time, there is absolute war in the Pentagon between the State Department and a faction of the CIA on one side, and factions of the CIA, Defense Intelligence, the U.S. Army on the other side. And I've been told this by, let's just say, active duty people. This is extremely dangerous. And we've talked about it hundreds of times here the last few years. You saw the military, including officers, holding up signs saying, "I won't be Al-Qaeda's Air Force in Syria," 2.5, 3 years ago. Rand Paul coming out saying we shouldn't be Al-Qaeda's Air Force. Many of the officers hold up the signs, Infowars.com. And now, Volume 38, Number 1, January 7th, 2016, just came out this morning. It is a lengthy Cy Hirsch report, 14 pages long, that we will do a special report on the news about tonight and more in the third hour. It is unbelievable. This is a 2-time Pulitzer Prize winner. This is a man given CIA clearance to investigate. He is a listener. He's emailed back and forth with us, but never comes on the show. Now is the time. He has confirmed everything in triplicate. That there is a war between senior staff and different agencies. And I don't want to say the Navy and the Army, but the whole Navy's not bad, but the Navy has been siding basically with the globalists more than the Army. Because there is a cult of George Washington in the Army, and it's really hard to break it. Because they've done a lot of corrupt, bad stuff, but this is coming down to killing the country right now. And I know Jesse Ventura is a Navy man. I'm not bashing the Navy. We're going to go to him with big breaking news from his trip to Russia. And that's why Colonel Schaefer came on a few months ago and said, we are now working with the Russians openly. We are going to destroy ISIS and Al-Qaeda. And I said, and that was from congressional secret meetings he was at. He put out the info here. He's authorized to do that. You understand? Authorized by the government to come on my show and tell you that. There is a full-on war close to Operation Valkyrie going on right now, where our own government doesn't want to be part of this. That is sections of this incredible evil. But here's Cy Hirsch admitting open war going on in the government. What do you think when they have top generals coming out saying this and top analysts saying we've been ordered to protect Al-Qaeda and ISIS? And yes, who'd you hear talk about this 3 years ago? Jesse Ventura. Myself and others. We've known what's going on, but now it's so out in the open. It's so dangerous it makes my head spin. And yes, you've got neocons and you've got the Obama people on one side, and then you've got the rest of the military and more libertarian conservatives on the other. Remember, Saudi Arabia supposedly was involved in the attacks, which we now know with 28 pages. So we attack Iraq. And Governor, do you feel vindicated? Because when you 4 years ago did your big 9/11 special and interviewed all those experts, you got demonized nationally for bare minimum saying Saudi Arabia was involved and our government stood down. We know it's worse than that. And you looked at Building 7 on national TV, never before done. I mean, that was truly groundbreaking material. And now that stuff's all been verified. It's all come out.
Well, I feel personally vindicated. I'm not sure if the public has taken the stigma off me yet, because the public still wants to keep the blinds in front of their eyes for whatever reason. They like the comfort zone. They don't want to know the truth.
Now, going back to the former Minnesota governor, Jesse Ventura, whose own TV show got censored, that's Inside Baseball, but I wish he'd tell that story sometime. It's pretty revealing. He just got back from Russia. Amazing talks with CIA former people at panels, you name it. Governor, let's get into more of what you witnessed in Russia. Then I want to shift gears into Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump being buddies. You now know Vladimir Putin, and of course you're friends with Donald Trump. That's quite a story right there as well.
I guess so. Well, the big thing was they also had panel discussions over there with moderators and things like that. You could sit in on them. And the one I found very interesting, there were two former lifetime CIA people who are now retired, one a whistleblower. And the real thing, we were dealing with communication, so that's what they kind of centered everything about because it's television. And they talked about how all of this surveillance that they're putting the United States people under, violating our Fourth Amendment rights, and they've got us all now under surveillance. Clearly, both guys said it doesn't work and won't work. And they said the clear example is what just took place in Southern California. If the surveillance worked, these people would have been apprehended before they did what they did. So clearly, it's a snow job. They can't protect you with this surveillance. Both men were very clear on that you're not going to be protected any better by putting everyone under surveillance, all your emails, all your telephone calls. And basically, they told us that they all are. Now, whether or not they get the places, but basically they said the entire United States is under surveillance right now.
Well, Drake has been on, William Benny's been on, the former head of technical for the NSA, and they said it's even worse than what you're saying. You're absolutely right. They are taking in so much data that then any real data gets lost like a needle in a haystack.
Yeah, exactly. That's what these two guys said. They said they may get the data, but there's so much of it because they're not targeting. They're just doing this blanket coverage of putting every person's email under surveillance that they can't possibly find, the bad ones slip by. They may find a few, but there's going to be some.